Hello everyone, selamat malam, good evening, and of course, wonderful to see everyone out there waiting for us. And of course, today, what's happening here, Meta Malaysia, or before they call themselves as Facebook lah, together with Chef Wan Lifestyle. And hari ini, we have a special guest. Of course, while we're talking, we share a bit in English, bahasa pun boleh, because we are Malaysian kan. So campur.
Saya akan campur Tamil.
Ya, itu dia.
Betul.
Betul ke ya? And of course, we're very lucky today. I'm very lucky. All of you are very lucky because we're able to have my wonderful friend, my favorite comedian, world, okay? Itu dia, Harith Iskandar on our hashtag Tak Nak Scam campaign. Because of lately ni kan, the last few years is so crazy. To see so many people, having to go through all sorts of scam lah. In fact, this scam thing has been going on for many years and it's been getting worse and worse and worse. And in fact, just few days ago, I was reading I was watching the news on BBC about this Nigerian thing, happening not just in Nigeria and then in the UK, it has spread to all over the world. So imagine all this scam thing. So
nak katakan pasal scam, I think that's one of the oldest profession in the world. Next to prostitution.
Oh God, wish I belum kerja lagi dah. I haven't tried that yet. I was always wondering.
Too much information.
I don't know, but I always want an easy job tau, kan? Kangkang aja, have all the pleasure in the world. Don't have to do anything.
Focus.
Okay, focus.
Ini bukan tak nak prostitution, ini tak nak scam.
Tak nak scam gitu. Okay.
No, but you're right. Nak katakan scamming is memang it's a worldwide problem, but we are focusing right now on the scam issue or the scam situation in Malaysia. That's why what are the biggest scams? For example, everybody knows that there's financial scam.
Tell me about financial scam. Nanti I will share you a few stories also on my financial scam, which happened to my friend and even to me also nearing nak jadi dah. And of course, it's not just about the financial scam, we need to fight lah, all this fraud is been going on here, not just in Malaysia, all over the world. And of course, Meta Malaysia have launched this nationwide campaign lah. Dia orang panggil this hashtag Tak Nak Scam awareness campaign ni daripada Julai tahun ni lah, from Julai sampai sekarang, so that everybody is aware about this ongoing campaign sampai hari ada, and all these various steps yang one needs to know, so that we can basically like wake up. It's like a slap on your face, like bangun.
So when you say one needs to know, you mean one lah, not one.
Not like one.
Like one you need to know.
Yes, kan.
So basically, before we get into the whole like talking, sharing.
I ni rapat dengan you lah. I'm going to go like social distancing, okay?
I'm drinking.
Okay, I'm drinking me too. Tak pakai mask tau. Ni pun scam juga. Our both scam lah.
So, by the way, before we continue, I just want to say, if you have been scammed or something, please share in the comment section your own story, your own Twitter, and then we'll try and interact with you as well. So, basically, you've been taking part in this campaign. What are the steps? Let's get straight into it. What are the steps people can take?
Okay, first step
untuk tidak di-scamkan.
Pertama kali kita orang kata nak kenal pasti, they call spot ataupun kenal pasti.
Okay.
When sometimes people comes to you, have this kind of deal where simple thing lah. For example, you're going to make more money. Usually it's like, making more money, giving you things that you never really think sometimes this kind of thing can happen to you.
If it's too good to be true.
Correct.
It's not real.
If we can have that song, it's too good to be true.
Too good to be true. It's so good to be true. Itu lagu lama.
So kita kena orang putih kata needs to be a bit more vigilant, At the same time juga kita kena orang kata be very cautious about all this, And of course, all these scammers ni dia orang pandai. They are very good because they study people who have weak mind, lemah, people who, sometimes, went through a lot of difficult times and they want to get out from their problem, and I can go on and on, we're going to talk more about later. And so they become, the victim lah,
So step one, kenal pasti, identify.
Be able to spot, the scam or the so-called imposter lah, so that you can avoid, to be another victim lah,
Yang second step?
Semak. Mereka kata semak. Bila kita dah tahu dia orang ni, dah identify, ni rasa macam tak betul ni, kan, the way dia cerita, and then maybe, dulu I baca surat khabar, I read paper last time, The same thing happened, Or my friend, oh my God, last time Din Beda was saying that this African guy really dated dia lah, lepas tu love lah, send give this and all that, and suddenly, darling, I want to, my mother's sick lah, not well lah, so I need some money, whatever, and then dia bagi.
But that one you hard to semak because you're actually talking to the person.
I know, but they all...
Unless the person touch the dog, then you semak. Itu lain.
Itu lain. So semak. So once you already spot this ni, check, and then kita nak tahu kena contact lah.
So misalnya kalau dia call and dia kata, oh kita daripada PDRM, or we are from the Bank Negara, or we are from your bank or something, you have the ability to stop. I'll talk to you later. Call up Bank Negara.
Yes.
Call up.
And before you call them, you try to chat with them, play around, try to be a bit smart. Don't try to be greedy, and all you see is dollars and cents, and all you see is all beautiful things, because these are the scammers. So you need to be a bit more wise, kind of like, play around. Oh, here, girl, is that so? Oh my God, really? I have that money, call. Oh my God, I've been dying to have that need or this or whatever. And then they start giving you this, and of course your mind is working as well. Their mind is working as well, but they don't know that you are even more wiser and more smart than you. To deal.
In that case, I have to be smart and wise lah kalau nak deal with scammers. But I think that's the intention of our chat today.
Tak boleh sabar. Tak boleh gelonyo.
Yeah. Tak boleh just like jump into it. Misalnya, you have 200,000 in the bank.
Oh my God, I nak kaya. Oh my God, I'm going to be so rich. Really. Adik tak ni aku dengar 200,000. I'm going to be so rich. Oh gosh, I can buy new Chopard watch.
Okay. Oh, Chopard watch?
Yeah. Cuma orang kaya je ada tahu. Tapi walaupun fake pun tak apa juga.
Okay,
orang
so
tahu kan.
kena pasti check and semak. What's the third?
And then of course, yang semak tadi kita cakap, you also need to go to all the proper channel as well lah. So understand kan, knowing to know, who are they are and all that. Which we're going to talk in a short while lagi. And lagi satu tu kita report. Dah tahu kan, terus report. Report polis ke, pergi check dengan cantum Bank Negara ke, dengan siapa, make report that this happening, because you know what? This kind of thing can really spread like nobody business.
And I think sometimes it's, especially those yang kena love scam, they're malu to report. Now the problem is when you do not report, benda tu mungkin terjadi to another person.
Yeah. Baru-baru ni, I was reading, can you imagine someone who's like in the corporate world? Pangkat tinggi ni tau, it was in the paper. And apparently, one of this top lady person lost like 700,000 something, just by Bitcoin thing.
Oh,
that
Bitcoin.
Yeah. Can you imagine that?
Bitcoin dengan Bitcoin lain.
Ini orang yang atas tau. So that's why, I have, because I have people who come in to like, oh, Chef Wan nak invest ni, boleh dapat ni. I'm like, so I have to be careful a bit, benda-benda macam ni. So you become, because people look at you as, someone a bit, fragile. So kita must not portray diri kita as being, weak, open to all that, So kalau kita rasa diri kita ni, in that situation, play it a bit, main, borak, sembang, get more information, try to pusing, tweet and all that, and to understand the whole picture and all that, and because, if they really cakap betul, they will know. But then they also can sense when you are going around and they say, oh no, this guy is like, I would not get anything, and they will leave you. And by the time they're really scammer.
And of course, once again, just a reminder, always make sure you report it. There's a lot of avenues you can report to. So benda ni bukan saja it's not just about Chef Wan and me telling you these things. This is a nationwide issue. Problem. Semua all the big departments, on relevant authorities macam definitely the PDRM is involved, the Commercial Crime Investigation Department.
Ini bukan individu saja, bukan celebrity, even big companies pun that lost millions and millions kena scam juga. Macam kita punya 1DF, 1M, nak menyebut tu 1MDM. Kan? Scam juga tu.
I will not say anything because the case is still ongoing.
Oh, excuse me.
I have a glass of water.
Yes. Terbayar duit ni tampal dekat dalam dinding tu kan.
Apa kata kita, we get all the official part out of the way and then kita jam. Lepas tu. So just to let you know that there are many relevant authorities you can report to. You can report to the Commercial Crime Investigation Department, iaitu the PDRM, CCID, the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, ataupun lebih dikenali dengan KPHD and HEP. I letak tersasul.
And then of course we have
Exactly.
also the association of banks.
Yes.
So lah, because banks they all connect to each other and all that, you know, ABM. So they kind of like, you know, bila kita buat report ni, they will do, then they can find out, you know, betul ke the source of money coming from here, from that, yeah. Then of course we have the FOMCA.
Yeah.
This selalu kita dengar kan, the Federation of Malaysian apa Consumer Association that, because you know kadang-kadang orang beli barang, beli apa produk and all that, kena tipu, kena macam-macam lah kan. And then you know what you expect to get is not what you actually paid for, you know. So these are the things yang kita kena ingat. Even bahagian education pun ada juga ya, benda-benda ni. Research Association of Consumer pun ada dengar, ataupun era Consumer Malaysia they call it ya. And so you know there's so many ways of doing it ya.
So-
And of course police lah.
Basically, those are all the official avenues you can go to. But let's get down to some of the more real stuff. Chef, bila you sampai tadi, you were just telling me a story, which I put terkejut, about an incident where someone approaches a friend of yours, kononnya you got some money in the bank, and this was a physical scam.
Yes.
Bukan on the phone,
Yeah.
bukan on computer, bukan on device. This person actually showed up.
Yeah.
I was so
Okay, ni
shocked.
contohnya, this
Contoh.
happened actually just more than about 5 days ago or 6 days. So this person that I know was working in the salon, and this lady happened to be his client. So she went there and pretending that you know she wants to do her rambut and blah 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 and all that, and then said that I'm from such a company. We are the one who try to collect money from apa orang kata, this called unclaimed fund lah,
Okay.
from Bank Negara. And of course it's not easy for Chef Wan to go blah blah blah. And so I have all this paper form, everything. Semua dah ready semua ni to fill up all my detail about my bank account, my IC, and we take a small cut of that. And we promise you we can get the money on time and blah 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 and all that. So this person pun bawa the form and came back to me lah. And of course, when I hear 200,000, I say, oh my God, macam tak ada berdiri. I'm gonna be rich. And I start thinking, oh my God, in Hawaii kan aku boleh beli baju bunga-bunga banyak lagi. Pergi London, pergi London nak pergi apa? Pergi LA, pergi San Francisco, boleh pergi masuk polo, boleh beli lagi macam-macam benda. So all these things keep, you know, the 200,000 and then the copper watch, you know. Macam lah banyak sangat duit Malaysia 200,000 ni kan, US dollar dah apa yang tinggal kan. But anyway, so when I dengar that, and I said, I gelak lah kan, because I'm not the sort of person who always like kadang-kadang percaya in this quick money. Because from day one, I've always I don't have this greed in me that I like macam lapar sangat duit tau kan. No matter how poor I am, I will work, I will be a waiter, be whatever lah jadi, just to find money. Because I realise bila kita kerja dengan hasil duit kita ni, apa semua kita usaha, the duit tu kita rasa macam halal sangat. Because you work for the money. But if you kerja benda-benda senang, suddenly you make a lot of this money, you say, apa buat? Where the source kan? So that's why you have to be a bit more self-conscious about all this kind of thing lah.
How did you handle this? How did you find out that it's a scam?
Okay. So then after that, when I read the form and see all the things, this is so much of my own personal particularity. Like, why would the person ni kan? And guess what? Just as I said, I was going to check with Bank Negara. The next morning, she called me.
Siapa? That
lady. And I said, hey, mana you dapat number I? She said, oh, we have the jalan blah blah blah. Chef Wan, I want to talk to you. I said, I'm busy. I said, you know, please, I kata, you know, I'll talk to me some other time. So then after that, I asked that person yang lady datang jumpa dia ni. So I said, can you check with Bank Negara and check? And guess what? Check Bank Negara punya ni to find out, because nowadays you can go on the net and check. And guess what? Bank Negara has inside there with my IC number. Senang tengok IC dia. I want to cry. I ada RM4 for $4.57. Can you believe that? And that's from Hong Leong. Don't know what happened from my credit card when I closed last time, because I cannot afford and spend all that money. I closed all the card. Because I'm the sort of person like, you know, if you can't afford, close all the bloody card, keep one card enough. Card melekat, kau nak bayar ke credit card kan? So after that, you know, because I was going out shopping, like orang kaya lah, charge. So one day I came back, I said, oh my God, did I spend this much money? I said, I've got the brain of a pea. So I said, what is wrong with you, Chef Wan? Must you have 20 of everything? Then I look at the cupboard, I have so many things that inside there. I'm like, oh, this is too much. So I decided, what is wrong with you? Because pergi jalan kat kedai, jalan Perry, jalan London, tengok kedai, masuk. Bila tengok kan, beli kan. Tak apalah, bayar kemudian. And then you have 5 credit card, all semua finish. So when I had like, wow, that much. So that's what happened. So then after that, I close all my account. I only keep one card and reduce. Then I begin to realize I was almost turning into a shopping compulsor. Shopping
Compulse.
excuse my
Impulse.
boleh lah. Shopping compulsor. What's the
Shopping
word?
compulsion adalah perkataan baru.
Oh,
It will
excuse
be put
me.
into the Dewan Bahasa dan Pustaka Dictionary.
Macam tu lagi.
Dengan gambar Chef Wan sebelah.
Kau tak baik tau. Mentang-mentang lah bahasa Inggeris aku tak bagus sangat kan.
So actually the point
I
is,
haven't finished about the shopping apa?
impulse.
No, that's the word.
No,
Shopping.
compulsive.
Yes. Safe. Safe. Excuse me. So going back to that tadi jadi when you can exercise control and then you begin to understand, oh gosh, you know that you are going into this yang tak baik for kita. So sama juga bila kita ingatkan kita tak lapar sangat duit ni kita ni, so you bit more, don't get too excited and all that, then you begin to really think back like, wait, you know, am I giving too much information untuk all that kan? Tu yang jadi. So when I found out from the bank negara, dia kata there's no 200,000 inside there.
Did the lady call you back after that?
Oh tak tahu, tak berani.
Macam mana dia tahu? Dia tak tahu. Dia check.
Tak tahulah.
But if
Now
she
dia
had
tahulah. Now dia tahulah.
So the point is, this woman, ni bukan scam phone, ni bukan scam. She came physically and tried to trick your friend into tricking you.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
And that's why today when you see kan on social media, people study tau. Even sometimes when you put things on Instagram, which I love to put, you know, people watching, you have no idea. And my friend keep telling me, don't put too much. Don't give too much on Instagram because people can do many things, you know, by just your personal thing. Even sometimes kita by mistake kita upload something, ada kita punya number ke IC ke benda apa kan, and like, wow.
Oh,
I didn't
can I just give you a story?
Dekat lagi dengan you ni.
Sir.
Social distancing.
Drinking.
Okay, drinking. Okay.
You know, sometimes kan ada Facebook post like, hey, tell us who your favorite comedian is, or tell us what your first dog's name or your first pet's name was, and people could jawab and share. Right? Do you know that is actually a phishing scam? So most people can, when you have the secret question, what is your first car, what is your first pet, how the scammers get it is when they share this Facebook post, hey, what's the name of your first pet? And then people say, my first pet was Chomel, my first pet. And then they get the information. So they see that misalnya Harith Iskandar first pet was Chomel, they'll keep that information. Then next time when you go to the bank and the bank asks what's your secret question, and the usual secret question is the name of your first pet.
Wow, they record.
So never fill out those Facebook posts where they share like, oh, here's a fun game. Tell us who your favorite comedian is, or tell us who your first pet was. What color was the first car that you bought? Those are phishing scams. They get information and data from you.
See, kan macam-macam benda.
Betul, it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. But so going back to your incident, I can't believe it that this person actually betul-betul physically came up. Sebab misalnya, wah, if she had called you back, I would set up what do you call a sting for her. Dia cakap, okay, can come to my house, blah, blah, blah. Datang polis masuk, perang.
Terus
You
tangkap.
caught her. Oh, tell the story yang you shared just now. This one is not to say scam, but it is a scam pasal orang yang datang kat rumah your mother.
Yeah, a few
This
years
is
ago.
a sad.
Yeah. And it happened to also so many Felda people as well.
What happened?
Okay, there was these two ladies yang coming, you know, bertudung, pakai, and you know how we all, especially Malay people, when we see somebody bertudung, kita ingat okay lah, this somebody yang respectable, tak mungkin dia nak tipu kita and all that kan. So my mother was alone in the house. He says, makcik, can I just go in and do my solat lah, tumpang semayang. So my mother said, okay, she wants to pray. Then my sister said, come in lah. So then my mother brought her into what they call that, my mother's room, and then put the sejadah, everything. So meanwhile, the other girl was entertaining my mother. Means she was like talking to my mother. Makcik, ni Mak Chef Wan blah, 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 and all that. So she was inside doing whatever lah. So by the time after that, my mother asked the other girl, dah habis solat, you nak semayang sangat? Oh tak apa makcik, saya datang bulan. I having my period. So then both of them didn't even finish the drink, and then they decided, terima kasih makcik, they want to leave. And my mother lagi best, nak bagi dia makan mihun, nak bagi mana cerita I all that, you know. Mak nak bagi, dia tak nak, I kata, you know. And you know what? They left. So after they left, and then my mother decided she also want to pray. So she start, you know, ambil semayang, and went to the room, and she saw the cupboard, bag semua buka. And guess what? My mother lost her gold change, ring, cash money, and all that. So when she called me, she cried. She said, oh my God. And then turned out to be on that day, not just my mother, there was a few in the Felda who also experience the same thing. And you know how fragile orang tua-tua ni kadang-kadang kan, seorang duduk rumah and all that, and you never know. So semua orang kata, you know, when you see people trying to sell things in front of your house, no, minta buka gate and all that, be very careful. And then this is the case again lah. Kalau nak tumpang semayang, ask for pity ni lah apa semua, and then kita ingat we are doing something good to help them, or they're thirsty nak minum air, kita buka pintu and all that, and that's it. And you see this a lot, you know.
So basically, people like this scammers, they prey on your guilt. That person must be religious. Kalau I tak bagi dia masuk, kalau I tak dengar cakap dia, saya yang akan bersalah.
Haram, haram.
Guilt is something that the scammers prey on. Like you cakap tadi macam weaknesses, right? Guilt, greed, or because
and then they also look at people who easily get excited. You know, like seeing people. Okay, one example I tell you. Okay, I kena. Okay.
Because you easily get excited.
Yeah. Well, I'm very lucky lah. You know, not everybody get excited as me lah kan. I get excited all the time. I don't need Viagra, okay? Dah excited dah. So going back to the story, I was in London, okay? Arwah Sharifah Aini says, Chef Wan, tolong belikan Kak Ani this week, whatever lah kan. You might need one, okay?
One day.
Kan? So then I said, Kak Pan nak beli apa? So she gave me this Helena Rubinstein, whatever, cut from magazine, all this rambut, I don't know, all this wig. Kan penyanyi pakai macam-macam wig kan, you know that. So then I said, okay lah, I will get. So I went to Selfridges. So I went to Selfridges and I brought my bag at the time macam Prada like that, holding, and dalam tu I have my earring. I bought $10,000 US and a Malaysian what kind of, it was 10,000 Malaysian, both US dollars, ringgit. And then adalah some currency, but I must have lost like almost 30,000 Malaysian dalam tu. In that Prada bag, I have my passport, I have everything. And you wouldn't believe, okay, as I was standing there and I gave the lady, there was this a black lady, and I said, excuse me, can you get me this wig lah, 3 I think different color from Helena Rubinstein on Selfridges London. And suddenly the guy came to me and walked. There was a guy walk in front of me, this old man, and he asked me, excuse me, do you have the page boy look? Kau tahu lah kan bahasa Inggeris aku kan bodoh nak mampus. Like, what is that, page boy? I always think of page macam surat khabar ke, tengok open one page, two page kan. Page boy apa benda tu kan. So I look at him, I say, what is that? He say, oh, is the hair. She kata, oh, I don't work here. You might want to ask the lady because she's inside looking for my my wig lah. And then say, so where you from? So I say, I'm from Malaysia. Oh, Malaysia, lovely country. Dia pun dah, dia lovely country. Aku pun stare like, yo, golden style. People ask one question, aku jawab macam satu novel lah. Story, all semua cerita Malaysian food. And then suddenly, the guy look at me and then he says to me, oh, I have to go. Dalam dia have to go, aku pegang lagi. Wait, I haven't finished my story yet. You know, and you know what? After that, he just walked and went. And it's very strange why he doesn't want to wait for that lady to come out, kan? So went into the elevator. So that maybe 5 minutes, I sit back on the chair. And then the lady come in, oh, excuse me, we don't have this, but we have the other two. I say, fine. I say, how do you like to pay? I said, I pay by credit card lah. So I turned around. Boom. My whole tadu. I stood up like, oh my God, where's my bag? Oh my God. And the lady said, what happened? Then I tell the story. And she said, oh my gosh. She said, you know what? The same thing happened yesterday. One lady from Arab Saudi bought a 500,000 pound of ring for the daughter's wedding ke apa something and lost. Oh. You know, and they were buying shoes at the ladies' department. And then I stood up and I just ran to the elevator because at the time I thought nobody can take that. And I went down. When I was going down the elevator and I was trying to look, really panic, okay? So tak dapat. I went to toilet in case they throw the stuff and all that. Cannot. Then I finally went to the place and they said, okay, you have to come back, make police report, everything. The next few days, they play back the camera, and you know when they took the bag? Because as soon as the lady, I was like, oh, you can see he made like that, and then he made like that, and then there was a guy who came behind me. So it's a decoy, and gone. I can't even see his face because it's so clever, like, gone. And out of my friendliness lah, had I not learned from the experience?
But at the same time, kita kena wary sikit that we can't just say that, oh, you're not allowed to be friendly, you cannot talk to people. I mean, as long as we go back to the steps, yeah, you need to identify, you need to spot.
Yeah, so that's why kita kadang-kadang, like, oh, you know kan, parent, and
you are so friendly. Kalau you tiba-tiba talk to a stranger, you don't want to tiba-tiba, why is this guy so friendly with me? Are you trying to scam me? And you be like, oh, I'm not trying to scam. I don't know.
Kalau tak friendly, aku kejap aku dekat dengan dia kan. Kejap dekat. I have to put myself where I'm so friendly, you know. Dia macam magnet dia ni. Kan, macam magnet. that walaupun kilat-kilat kepala dia macam so I keep coming next to Harith. So this is one example of scam that happened to me that I lost because of my what? Because I'm so careless. Number one, I put the bag behind and it's not on me. And so when I travel, so that happened all the time. Even in a restaurant, people eat suddenly gone. So that's why we must always be very alert. And if you have to carry money, don't carry a lot. I carried that because I was supposed to leave for the airport after that. That was the time. But then what to do lah? I lost everything.
Those are the physical scams. Tapi I think a lot of people nowadays kena dengan online scams, with phone scams, with have you heard of the Macau scam?
Yes. Yeah, that one was like, wow.
So the Macau scam is like when they call up, and this has not happened to me, but it has happened to my friends of mine, where they call up and they, much like this lady who showed up to your friend, they call up and say, oh, we are from so and so bank, or you have some money, and but before we reveal this money, you must give us personal information just to confirm. And then you give your name, you give your IC number, dia dapat and phone number. And then with that information, because now information is all available online, they can take your name, your IC number, they key it, they can get other information. Then bila they check out to you, oh, so you live in this house and that, you pun percaya, oh, this person is real sebab he has my information. So that's actually this Macau scam and all this, they've got so much data, they've got so much information about you. So not to say it's you're stupid if you fall for it, but you just need to be wary. Kenapa? Number one, you can check with your bank, but banks don't usually call, especially the number 016-214-14141 whatever. Tiba-tiba they call, oh, I'm calling from I'm calling from KWSP. This person call up, mobile phone number, tapi cakap English in a Chinese accent. Oh, hello, I'm calling from KWSP. Dalam kepala aku, oh, ada ke orang Cina kerja kat KWSP? I said, oh, is it? Oh, really? We have your information here. Tapi the accent was actually like a Hong Kong accent. Itu yang killed me. Like, number one, even if it was a Chinese working KWSP, they will either speak with a Malaysian accent or speak to me Malay. So things like that, you need to start. It just triggered to me, and then call from a mobile phone. So I asked, oh, whose number is this? Oh, this is the office number. I said, no, it's not office number, it's mobile phone number. Things like that. So these are things that you need to identify. I don't know, maybe anybody out there in a bank, you can tell me, what do you call? I suddenly have an email from banks saying, banks will never call. Oh, by the way, also, this is true. Sometimes on email scams, I pernah kena with my bank, I've got an account in public bank. I received an email from public bank, which was a bit, because I saw the address, it was not publicbank.com. It was publicbank.com something. Then I was like, kenapa banyak sangat .com, .eo, .my, pop. That I immediately realized that the information they were asking me, this is the kind of thing that, your name, your IC, that I then contacted public bank. I said, and I read the email. I said, is this one of your emails? And they said, no, it's not. So at least, I was able to identify it, because this, kita pun kadang-kadang kita dapat email aja pun, oh, kena jawab, kena reply.
I have a few that came in, for example, telling me that my son or my daughter berhutang, from so, and therefore, that this thing is something very serious, that it needs to be settled and all that, because kalau tak ada, nanti I malu lah, this and all that kind of stuff. So when I saw about all this kind of thing, like, apa benda ni kan? So then later I found out it's nothing to do. They don't even know. So they wanted information about my IC, my this and all that, so that they can help me with the police. Like, I'm like, lucky I didn't give, because I was like panic, if this really happened, and they're very smart. So that's why these days, it's just not just being a celebrity, but just about everybody out there have to be very careful. And I always wonder why a lot of people out there fall prey into all these scams. Apa masalah selalu kan? Selalu kita kena tengok, because terlampau banyak sangat time and again. Even sometimes yang jadi, what happen is not just anybody. It's people yang really, even the people that you think, in the higher level, that is very smart, knows a lot about financial and situations, high up there and all that, and yet mereka ni being played out.
And when you talk about that kind of thing, memang sometimes women fall for this love scams, because I have personally known of a woman who is smart. Dia bukan bodoh, she's smart, but of course she's a bit lonely, and she was telling me about this guy in whatever country he was. She said London, she said England, and bagi nama and all. And I was just saying to her, how do you know him? Oh, we talk all the time. I said, you talk? You physically talk? Oh no, why not? Oh, he messages. Then have you ever video called? Say, oh no, he said video call. The moment someone gives excuses like this, when you are just doing your due diligence, can you video call or whatever? I'm not saying all internet relationships are fake, but just like a normal relationship, kadang-kadang kita old school kan, kita bukan meet on the internet. Even when you meet someone, you do your due diligence. Oh, sekolah kat mana? What color you like? That's your due diligence to check whether this person is real. Same with these so-called internet love scams, where at the end of the day, and then by the way, you start falling in love with them. Then next thing you know, oh, I'm in trouble. I just need to pay my car, and they start small, 900 ringgit, or start then
Very common.
1,002, and the next thing, oh, I'm in real big trouble. I need 10,000 bob. And I know personally of women who have like mula pinjam from money lenders to
give them. It's incredible.
To give.
Yeah, I had friends, Chinese friend who lost almost entire life saving, okay, beratus-ratus ribu to American friend yang dia yang so-called daripada Chicago ni, apparently macam askar lah, this and later when they investigate all these things kan, actually this guy who's giving all these pictures all this is actually also Chicago what do you call it, African guy who did this, and the gambar-gambar yang hantar ni semua kebanyakannya, although it's the same person ni, apparently the person died in the war already in Iraq, and then they got all these pictures and stuff, so they make her believe that he's really went out to war, and they have picture of the family. So when you see one another, you begin to believe, oh, he's sharing his life basically, and therefore he's in a situation where he wants to come and see you, needed some money, the same thing lah, or that, and then she sent. Habis lah, one after another.
But yang saya tak faham is these people who do this scam, how do they sleep at night?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when you're talking about yang mak you kena when you came to the house. Orang yang buat kerja mati tu,
they have no mercy lah. Orang macam tu kan, dia tak ada ni. But anyway, so Hari, have you yourself experienced any of this scam?
Well, I've like I said earlier, it has happened via the phone when they call up, and I have been with. At this sekali, I was actually with my wife in the car. I was driving. Dia jawab phone, and she was like, "Yes, who's this? Oh, this bank. Okay." Then she was asking a couple of questions like, "What is this about?" Blah, blah, blah. And then I began to realize my instinct told me like, no, I just said to put on the phone. She was like, "No," they asked me, "Just put on the phone." Because if you put on the phone, if that person is real, number one, it's not a real problem. They can call you back, or they can put you some other way. But if that person is not real, it ends there, right? So jangan takut, like public bank calls you up, and I don't know why I keep using public bank. Is this because I have an account there?
I don't care.
It could be anything. It could be Maybank, could be CIMB. Don't be afraid to say, "I don't trust you. This could be a scam." And if they put up too much of a fight, no. It's most probably a scam, because if they actually train and they really are from public bank or CMB, they'll say, "Oh, saya faham. We'll send you an email or whatever. Faham tak? So do not be afraid to say, "Excuse me, no, I'm not going to give this information. I don't trust you." If that person is real and they really need the information, they are real. They'll get the information. Faham tak? So don't be afraid to do that.
And lagi satu, especially in a lot of our Malaysian kan, you notice especially even in our Malay community, a lot of all these young kids, they get excited, to get rich cepat kan. Jadi this is the kind of sometimes sikap lah, attitude yang they have to understand. Sometimes all this easy money do not exist, so that's why often they fall prey into all this. And sometimes they even use their parents punya ni ke mother, and making sure that they're gonna get the car, they're gonna win this, they're gonna win that. I hear this all the time, and then later they found out that they lost part of their parents punya saving. Budak universiti banyak sekarang macam-macam scam pun ada tau.
Yang parents bagi duit kenapa? That one you have to ask that question as well.
Sometimes kan, like how did it happen kan? So they are part of it jugalah. Kalau bapa tak percaya benda ni, takkan dia bagi duit kan. So that's why. But one thing I learned lah from my own personal experience kan, number one, I don't want to believe and trust people easily lah when it comes to
But
people
you do.
offering.
But you do. You're such a trusting person.
I know. Sometimes it happen. But then I've been much better now than I was before. Tengok baru-baru ni, even my contractor rumah, tak tentu arah, came in and show me all these wonderful things that they did. And later I found out, somebody told me, it's not their work lah. We are the one who's doing for them. They're just using you to promote their ni lah, ID company. So I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't know. But even that I set aside, So I made them to do my house renovation and all that. And then Haris, after that, when I look at the quality of whatever that I spent in comparison to what actually that I expected, so-called this premium thing, is terrible. It's terrible. And they totally disappoint me, and telling me macam scam jugalah, because kita tak tahu kan. Show all this beautiful thing yang dia buat, yang kita ingat betul dia buat, and went to see the place and all that, and turned out to be bukan dia buat, dia sub orang lain buat. And then bila dia buat dengan kita pula, and then dia do all this job, and then I was just horrified to look at the quality of work. And can you imagine, I was the one who wanted to help the company, help him, and whoever lah, his other subcontractor dia nak tolong, because business tak ada, dia kata tak ada. So I ni fall prey for this kesian thing.
Tapi did you see them after that? Like, did you?
Yes. Oh my God, these few days, you look at my Instagram, I lanyak dia. In fact, I'm going to sue them. So because, and then after that, so many people out there who have dealings with other contractors who also sharing story. And you'll be so shocked to see, punyalah banyak orang dipermainkan oleh kontraktor rumah ni,
so,
macam-macam semua.
That's equivalent to you making a report, right? You spoke about it, walaupun you boleh malu that you got scammed, but at least you look, guys.
Yeah, because you know what? Because
person.
when they wanted me to use me as a PR tool to promote their company and all that, I didn't even charge them. In fact, I paid them more than they deserve. Because I said, tak apalah, nak tolong kawan lah. I never ask for discount. Okay, this is how much your house renovation Chef Wan. I bayar je. I just want a bloody good job like what I see in whatever you show me in that apartment lah. And I went to see kan. And turned out to be hancur. Duit I pun hancur, tembok I pun hancur, tingkap I pun ni. And then I'm standing there like, I cannot believe that this happening, After 3 times they come and repair the house, they still look like shit, some of the part of the house. So that's why I felt frustrated. I felt kena scam pun je, cheated and all that. And I want to take this legal action because the reason why, if they really want the publicity, Haris, to make themselves famous to the world, why can't they face, also all the bad things that they are doing, kan? Because if you want me to promote all, which I did in the very beginning, and then people are following my IG tau, nak tengok rumah Chef Wan cantik mana, sekali pop, I keluarkan macam kawado. That kind of look, and I feel embarrassed, kan? I felt cheated, I felt disappointed, I felt, like, why would someone do this? Here I am, orang kata, memberi madu, and then I get the tuber back. It's like, I felt like, is that what I deserve? Kan, when we sat down, I'll do everything for you, your house going to be brand new, and this, all the empty promises and all that, and then in the end, I'm like, oh God, nak nangis pun je. Tu dah. So there is also part of scam juga, how people
they took advantage of your
kelemahan. Yes, exactly. Yang kita nak tolong dia, supaya berniaga dia maju, kita nak promote, to help him so that his business is good, that other people will go and also do their need. And I didn't even charge him. I just pay because I don't want, because I'm not I'm kata up for charity lah. I'm not that kind. I never ask some celebrity, buat rumah I for free apa semua. I say no. Never ask one. I didn't even ask a single cent discount. And then to face that, so that's why now we want people out there to check, to identify who are the scammers. Siapa yang elok, siapa yang baik. So if we really expose all these people, actually, Malaysia today will be better. So that's why kita boleh senyap. Orang kata, jangan aibkan diorang. Malukan diorang. Hello? Kan, tak nak aibkan, then what? The whole world is going to face what I face? Is it fair? Or my friend esok kalau nak buat rumah, saya have to do that, because that's exactly what it is.
Actually, you're right. In the era of social media, you can actually do very quick background checks. So misalnya, let's say whoever this person is, tried this 6 months ago, then if you do the background check, you check the type of person and think, chef, this person kenakan Chef Wan dulu, this person kenakan this person.
Yes.
Then then you can start to work out the background of that
Exactly,
person.
yeah. So we should not feel embarrassed, to expose, or like we say just now kan, to kenal pasti siapa dia orang all that, and then share, kan. So
Just at the top of my mind, I remember sekali I got an invitation to attend this property talk with two of these great speakers, and they're from this property, blah 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 blah, at a hotel, with all the drinks and the canopies and all. Just before I went, I did a background check. I typed in the two speakers' names, and there was nothing on the internet about them. That was a red flag.
Wow.
Kalau you are the top property developer speaker from the internet should be your LinkedIn, The fact that there was nothing about these two people told me that this is a scam. And they have it at a hotel. Bukan hotel 3-star, 2-star. It was a proper 5-star hotel. They'll take the mini ballroom and they'll have 300 people. Because the point is, I worked out how they do it because I spoke to a few people. They can rent the ballroom, they can rent the canopies, they can rent all the. Maybe let's say they spend 20 to 30,000 on the scam, but from the 200 people that show up, kalau 3 atau 4 beli $3 or $4 million properties, how much have they made versus what they spent? So don't be fooled by, oh, ni memang betul, it's at the Hilton Hotel. Oh, look, he's wearing a suit and tie, and he's from London, London, and he's wearing a Chopard watch. So you. At the same time, just do your due diligence. Go. If it's too good to be true, check on it.
And then baru recently, somebody came to see me as well, showing me how much money she's making, from all this saham lah, someone is playing, and apparently these people yang dia main ni kan, also dia tak kenal. So I said, who are they? Oh, they are Russian, Nila, this. I said, do you know them? Don't know. So they are trading. Apparently, they're giving this money, put this much, they get this much on that. And you know what? You hear very often that, once you fall into that prey, let's say that muda-muda you invest at 1,000, and then suddenly they give you 500 more. And then after a few times, you get very greedy. Oh my God, within the 6 months, I'm making 40K. Oh, kalau if I can make 40K, maybe I should take my saving another 100K, then by next 4 months, I go. So everyone start doing that, and then say, if you recruit, you also going to make money from someone else. And they recruit, then they call their friend. I'm one of them as well. That kind of. So they met me and talk. So I dengar je, after all this. So I asked myself, do I really? Never mind, you give 10,000 also can, you give 20,000, no. And they really wanted me to go in. Then I was thinking like, is this true? But then I said, true or not, is that have you not learned from your lesson that this kind of thing can happen? So maybe if you don't get involved into all this so-called shit thing, then you can sleep properly because you don't have to worry about losing that 10 or whether you're making another 100,000, whatever kan. Because at the end of the day, it's not something like really good money that you work hard for it. It's beranak from God knows where, some Russian doing it, some German ke sama, and you don't even know them. All these people. And then if you're not very smart financial person, like me, kan, walaupun working in the bank, I'm not that, fantastic in all that. Pasal shopping bagi aku lah. Pasal nak invest ni kan, I'm not ni. So I don't want to go into the market to jump into something that I don't know. And imagine I'm not very good at computer and all that. Nak kena pergi check, nak pergi search, tengok saham tu naik. Bila masa dia kan. So the best is avoid. So that's why if you're the sort of person, you find that diri you very fragile, tak banyak knowledge, tak ni apa semua, sometimes it's better lah, biarlah kita jadi katak bawah tempurung pun, bodoh-bodoh pun tak apa, duduk diam-diam, at least kak, duit kita selamat. Dah tentu kan, kita pencen esok, ada 200-300 ribu tu, walaupun makan siri sekali, besok makan roti canai, nasi lemak bungkus pun boleh hidup juga. Tapi kalau dah tak ada duit langsung, kenalah cari Harith Iskandar yang datang, nak bagi apa, makan dia, so good, it's such a wonderful guy here. Can you imagine dengan wife dia, after Jasmine, then they go out, to get food, and I really, really respect. Thank you, my dear.
But
you are so good to the country.
Thank you.
Such inspiring, couple.
Do you know what is not a scam? Your cooking. That's original. That is well worth the money and it's great value.
Dengar tu. Sampai dia naik ketat orang tulis kita wrap up the Chef Wan. Jangankan. Thank you,
I
darling.
had such a great time talking to you about this.
Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing. Because kita ni semua kan buat bukan apa, to help everyone, to reach out to everyone so that we live in a very safe country. All of us are trying to live an honest life, kan? biarpun duit tak banyak, kepala tak pening, tak tipu orang, tak nyanyi orang and all that, because but we need to share with the whole world. When people cheat you, when people do this, tak kira lah pasal rumah, pasal apa, there's nothing embarrassed, because this become an example. And I feel ada kan, kalau Allah tu tak duga kita kan hari ni, kita tak akan sejar tau, because kita akan jadi even more. But once dia duga kita, macam apa jadi bila I'm more alert. But then we also want to pass down this. Tak ada apa nak malu pasal aib-aib ni. Daripada kita masukkan bawah kapet ni esok, 100 rakyat Malaysia lagi kena tipu kerana kita tahu tapi kita tak nak ni, kita kena rogol bergila-gila pun tak nak cerita. Kan? Tapi ada orang suka pula kan. So kita report lah. I kena gang rape, kena apa, sebab apa kan. Tak apa, cerita lah, apa nak malu pula kan. Saham dah jatuh nak buat macam mana. Kan? Macam mana cerita kan.
Tak tahu macam mana tiba-tiba topik lah.
Sama itu scam juga. Scam juga kan. Scam kan.
Okay, kita kena orang putih kata wrap up.
Okay, terima kasih. Thank you for for being on the show. Jangan lupa ya. Tak nak scam campaign kita ni. Hashtag ya.
Tak nak scam.
Itu dia.
Kalau boleh share your stories and also hashtag tak nak scam. Kalau you had experience, and then hopefully when people go to see tak nak scam, they can see or learn from your experience as well.
And always bila kita ada pengalaman macam ni, daripada kita duduk membawang, talk rubbish, talk pasal apa, sometimes when you have all these stories, share with all your office mate, kawan-kawan, benda apa yang berlaku, so that everyone realize all the time, read the papers, that we wake up, that at the end of the day, benda-benda ni, we need to suppress our greed, nafsu kita, sifat tamak kita, gelojo, because a lot of time bila jadi benda macam ni, ialah kenapa kita ni sifat macam jadi macam ni, ataupun jadi macam orang saya ni, yang jadi fragile bukan tamak, bukan apa kan, tapi hilang kenapa, selalu nak tolong orang, kita rasa kesian kat orang, mudah kesian, in the end orang tak kesian kat kita. Hello, wake up Chef Wan. Kan, geram kadang.
Alright.
I'm not that stupid,
No, you're not. But he's very afraid he might go to another topic. That's all.
Selamat malam.
Bye-bye everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye.